I want to thank Senator Khalware for interrupting me unnecessarily. But I want to tell him, if we listen to me very carefully, I said, as a Senate, if we are given an opportunity to get more money to our counties, more money to our counties, let's go for the option of more money. Because he is talking about 385, which was an increase by 15 billion. But 407 would be an increase of 37 billion. So if you listen to me, it was an opportunity because it was a motion and it was a report brought by the committee where my good friend Khalware sits.
Senator Otsosi, Senator Eddie would like to inform you. Do you want to be informed?
Eddie is a very programmatic young man. I'm ready. He informs me.
Proceed, Senator Eddie.
Senator, I wanted to inform Senator Otsosi that the Constitution under Article 216 gives the Commission of Revenue Allocation the mandate to help the nation determine the equitable share. And I'll read it because this information you can relate to Senator Boni Aluwale. The principal function of the Commission of Revenue Allocation is to make recommendations concerning the basis for equitable sharing of revenue raised by the national government. This information is important, Senator Otsosi, to you because the 407 billion that we were suggesting for increase to the counties was actually determined by the Commission on Revenue Allocation. And that's a fact, and they advised the committee of this House, called this for Committee on Finance and Budget, with clear indications of where those money were going to come from.
You have made your point, Senator Eddie.
Okay, I'm just finishing. So the money your
point of order was to inform. You have informed Senator Otsosi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Eddie. Actually, CRA is the one that came up with the 407. And the CRA is a constitutional commission in this country. Mr. Speaker, before I was interrupted, I was trying to emphasize the significance of Article 96, that this Senate, when called upon, on any matter on this floor, our first priority should be our counties. Our first priority should never be whether you are executive or you are not in the executive. Should be our counties. And we have seen some drawback to devolution. We have seen a conversation that, for example, Mr. Speaker, that primary health care, functions like community health, volunteers are now wanting to be taken over by the national government. What is the health committee doing about it? Regardless of whether you are in government or not, something has to be done about it. And many other cases, issues of housing, which is under my good friend Senator Thangwa as a chairperson. What are we doing about it? Because this fixation on which side of the coalition we are in, it is going to interfere with the proper functioning of this Senate, Mr. Speaker. So I want to implore upon my colleagues in this House from both sides of the political divide to ensure that our guiding principle in this House is how well are we going to represent our counties and how well are we going to protect the interests of the counties and their government. Point number 2, Mr. Speaker, is that Article 219 of the Constitution is very clear that a county share of revenue raised by the national government shall be transferred to the county without undue delay and without deduction, except when the transfer has been stopped under Article 125. Mr. Speaker, it is high time that this Senate took keen interest in Article 219, because we cannot be saying we are senators, but when we go to our counties, our governors tell us that we have not received money for 3 months. We have not paid salaries. We have not stopped projects, and we call ourselves senators. We are not doing our work. The Constitution is there for us. 219, Article 219. Why are we not invoking that? Because Treasury receives money, collects money, but it does not prioritize allocation or disbursement to counties. It prioritizes national functions. So, Mr. Speaker, even as we pass this schedule, we must take into account Article 219. And the Finance Committee should do that. Sometimes I even think this Finance Committee should be led by the minority side. Because this is a committee that has to make very weighty decisions. But because they are led by the majority side, they cannot make that decision. Even as we thank the Kenya Kwanza government that for the first time they have disbursed all the money. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you that had it not been the committee where I chair, the Public Investment and Special Funds Committee, we took up this task. We put pressure on the Treasury CS. I remember sometimes we went until 10 in the night, putting pressure and discussing the issue of disbursement to the counties. So we want the Finance Committee, please up your game. Up your game,
Senator Otsosi,
so that you ensure
Senator
the law
Otsosi,
is complied with,
Senator
particularly
Otsosi,
Article
Senator Otsosi,
219 of the Constitution.
Senator Otsosi, when the chair speaks, take attention. Do you want to be informed by Senator Chute?
Senator Chute is a good friend of mine and is a very reasonable member of the majority side. I would like to be informed.
Proceed, Senator Chute.
The mic.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and also Senator Otsosi. I want to inform him that the Kenya Kwanza, he says, for the first time, the Kenya Kwanza government has sent the money. I want to inform him that this is the first, even as you know, we've not gotten our first budget. So what we are trying to do is the mess that was created before. We said, no, we have to send money to the county, and that is what we have done, and that is the first time we are doing it. So this is the first time for this government. Don't say for the first time we did it. It is what we have done now. It is what is supposed to be done by the handshake government. So when you say congratulations to us, thank you very much for saying that, but please kindly be informed that this is not our budget. It is a handshake budget. Thank you very much.
Senator Otsosi, kindly wind up also. On
Mr.
comments.
Speaker, you know, that is what I alluded to earlier about the role of senators, particularly Article 96 of the Constitution, that we are here to talk about our counties. I said that the money has been disbursed by 30th of June, 100%, yes. But Mr. Speaker also said that it's not that there was no delay. There was a delay. 4 months delay from December to March. And then towards the end is when they just rushed and sent the money. But that was not without the input of the Senate. The committee of